How are you today? Welcome to the Sacred Brain Waves channel. Before we begin, please remember to subscribe and hit the like button. We are working hard to bring you a wide array of trivia questions and intriguing did you knows. Please remember to tell us how you did in the comments. Ready to begin? In 3, 2, 1. Who was known as the doubting disciple? Matthew, Thomas, James, Peter. Thomas earned the nickname Doubting Thomas because he initially doubted the resurrection of Jesus until he saw and touched Jesus' wounds. Which disciple was a tax collector before following Jesus? Simon, Matthew, John, Bartholomew. Matthew, also known as Levi, was a tax collector before becoming one of Jesus' disciples. His gospel is the first book of the New Testament. Who was the beloved disciple, often reclining next to Jesus? Andrew, James, John, Philip. John, the son of Zebedee, is referred to as the beloved disciple and is often depicted as reclining close to Jesus during significant events in the Gospels. Which disciple betrayed Jesus for 30 pieces of silver? Judas Iscariot, Simon the Zealot, Andrew Thaddeus. Judas Iscariot infamously betrayed Jesus, leading to Jesus' arrest and crucifixion. The 30 pieces of silver were the payment he received for his betrayal. Who was the first disciple to be called by Jesus? Andrew, Peter, James, John. Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, was the first disciple called by Jesus. He immediately introduced his brother to Jesus, and both became figures among the disciples. Which disciple walked on water briefly with Jesus? James, Philip, Peter, Thaddeus. Peter briefly walked on water with Jesus, but his faith wavered and he began to sink. Jesus reached out to him, emphasizing the importance of faith in challenging situations. Who was the disciple known as the Sons of Thunder? James and John, Peter and Andrew, Philip and Bartholomew, Matthew and Thomas. James and John, the sons of Zebedee, were known as the Sons of Thunder due to their strong and zealous personalities. They were among Jesus' inner circle of disciples. Which disciple was a fisherman before following Jesus? Nathanael, James, Peter, Thomas. Peter, also known as Simon, was a fisherman by trade before becoming one of Jesus' closest disciples. Jesus referred to him as the rock on which he would build his church. Which disciple asked Jesus to show them the Father? Thomas, Philip, Matthew, Bartholomew. Philip asked Jesus to show them the Father, to which Jesus responded, "Anyone who has seen me has seen the Father." This emphasized the intimate connection between Jesus and God. Who was the disciple who doubted Jesus' resurrection until he touched his wounds? Peter, Thomas, James, John. Thomas doubted Jesus' resurrection until he personally touched the bones of Jesus' body. Jesus used this moment to teach about the importance of faith, even when faced with doubts. Which disciple was known for being a zealot before following Jesus? Simon, James, Thaddeus, Bartholomew. Simon, also called the Zealot, was likely associated with a political movement known as the Zealots before becoming a follower of Jesus. His background added diversity to the disciples. Who was the disciple who recognized Jesus as the Messiah and was commended by Jesus for it? Peter, Nathanael, Andrew, John. Nathanael recognized Jesus as the Messiah when he first met him. Jesus commended Nathanael's insightful perception, saying, "Here truly is an Israelite in whom there is no deceit." Which disciple cut off the ear of the high priest's servant during Jesus' arrest? James, John, Peter, Andrew. Peter, in his impulsive attempt to defend Jesus, cut off the ear of the high priest's servant. Jesus subsequently healed the servant's ear and rebuked the use of violence in that moment. Who was the disciple known for being a twin and initially doubting Jesus' resurrection? Thaddeus, James the Less, Philip Thomas. Thomas, often called Doubting Thomas, was known for doubting Jesus' resurrection until he personally saw and touched Jesus. His skepticism turned into a profound declaration of faith. Which disciple was a tax collector before becoming a follower of Jesus? James, Matthew, Thaddeus, Simon. Matthew, also known as Levi, was a tax collector before becoming a disciple of Jesus. His gospel provides a unique perspective on Jesus' teachings and actions. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button for more content.